Do you still have an old American coin from your grandparents' days tucked away somewhere at home? If you do, don't ignore it, because what looks like an ordinary 1-cent coin could actually be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Today, we're taking a close look at two legendary U.S. coins, the 1,934 and 1,935 Lincoln Wheat Pennies. These are the same classic pennies that many families have passed down through generations. While most people see them as old pocket change, certain rare varieties, mint marks, and unique features have turned some of these pennies into highly valuable collector's treasures. The big question is, could one of these hidden treasures be sitting in your collection right now? How can you tell if your penny is the rare version collectors are desperately searching for? Stay with me until the end of this video, because I'll show you exactly what makes these coins special, what to look for, and why some collectors are willing to pay astonishing prices for the right one. Let's get started. Imagine reaching into an old coin jar that has been sitting in your family for decades. Maybe it belonged to your grandparents. Maybe it has been tucked away in a dusty drawer, forgotten in an old wooden box, or hidden inside a piggy bank since childhood. You pick up a worn-looking penny that most people would never look at twice. It seems ordinary, just another old 1-cent coin. But what if that tiny copper coin could actually be one of the most exciting discoveries a collector could ever make? Today, we're taking a closer look at the incredible 1,935 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark. At first glance, it doesn't look extraordinary. In fact, many people have spent coins just like this without realizing they might deserve a second look. That's exactly why collectors continue searching through old collections, estate sales, and inherited coin jars every single day. Hidden treasures still exist, and one of them could be sitting in your own home. Let's examine exactly what makes this famous wheat penny so interesting. The first thing you'll notice is the front of the coin. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln faces toward the right. This design was created by Victor David Brenner and first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. It became one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history and remained in use for nearly 50 years. On the coin we're discussing today, you may notice light brown spots across the front. Many collectors call this natural toning. Over many decades, copper reacts with air, moisture, and storage conditions, producing different shades of brown, chocolate, red, or even darker colors. Natural aging can give every old penny its own unique personality. Now let's turn the coin over. The reverse displays two beautiful wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the famous motto, E pluribus unum, across the top. Those wheat ears are the reason collectors call these coins wheat pennies. The reverse design represents America's agricultural heritage and remains one of the most beloved coin designs ever produced. On this example, the reverse shows a light black layer that developed naturally over decades. While discoloration alone doesn't automatically increase value, collectors often study every detail carefully because unusual surfaces sometimes encourage further examination for hidden varieties or rare characteristics. One detail that surprises many beginners is the missing mint mark. This coin has no mint mark beneath the date. Many people mistakenly think a missing mint mark automatically means a coin is rare. That's not always true. For the 1,935 wheat penny, the absence of a mint mark simply means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark during that period. Even though millions of these coins were produced, finding examples that survive in exceptional condition after nearly a century is becoming increasingly difficult. Every year, more are damaged, cleaned improperly, lost, or melted, reducing the number of attractive collector-quality pieces available. Let's look at the coin specifications. The 1,935 wheat penny is composed primarily of 95% copper, with the remaining 5% made from tin and zinc. This bronze composition gives the coin its classic reddish-brown appearance when new. Its official weight is approximately 3.11 grams. The diameter measures 19.05 millimeters. Its thickness is approximately 1.52 millimeters. Despite these small dimensions, this little 1-cent coin carries an enormous amount of American history. Imagine the year 1935. The United States was still recovering from the Great Depression. Families worked hard to save every penny. A single cent could actually buy something useful. These coins passed through grocery stores, banks, schools, restaurants, farms, and factories. They witnessed one of the most important periods in American history before eventually finding their way into collections decades later. That historical connection is one reason collectors love wheat pennies so much. Every scratch, every color change, and every sign of circulation tells part of a story. Now let's talk about rarity. Many people hear the phrase rare coin and immediately think every old penny is valuable. The truth is much more interesting. Age alone does not determine rarity. Collectors look for several important characteristics. First comes overall preservation. Coins with sharp details, minimal wear, and original surfaces are always more desirable. Next comes color. Some collectors pay premium prices for original red copper examples because very few survive with their original mint color after so many decades. Then come mint errors. Double dyes, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, repunched mint marks on applicable dates, die cracks, and other genuine mint-made errors can dramatically increase collector interest. Finally comes eye appeal. Sometimes a coin simply has beautiful surfaces that make it stand out from thousands of similar examples. That's why two coins from the same year can have completely different values. Now let's discuss collector demand. Lincoln Wheat Pennies remain one of the most collected coin series in the United States. Millions of people have attempted to complete full Dayton mint collections. Because of this enormous collector community, demand for attractive examples continues year after year. Collectors enjoy searching through estate collections, inherited jars, flea markets, antique stores, coin shops, and bankrolls, hoping to discover an overlooked treasure. That thrill of discovery is one of the reasons coin collecting has remained popular for generations. What about the estimated market value? Most ordinary circulated 1,935 Philadelphia wheat pennies are worth modest amounts. However, exceptionally rare examples with extraordinary preservation, significant authenticated mint errors, or unique characteristics have sold for dramatically higher prices at major auctions. Some reports estimate that an exceptional specimen could reach values around $284,300, but such prices apply only to extremely rare, authenticated coins, not typical examples found in circulation. That is why professional authentication is so important before assuming an unusually high value. If you think you found an interesting 1,935 wheat penny, never clean it. Cleaning removes the original surface and can significantly reduce collector value. Instead, hold the coin only by its edges. Store it inside a protective coin holder. Use proper lighting and magnification to inspect the date, lettering, rims, and overall strike. Compare it with trusted reference guides, and if it appears unusually well preserved or shows a genuine mint error, consider having it evaluated by a reputable grading service. Many valuable discoveries have been made simply because someone decided to examine an old family coin before spending it. That forgotten penny sitting in a drawer today may not look impressive, but history has shown that remarkable discoveries sometimes come from the most unexpected places. So before you ignore that old wheat penny from your grandparents' collection, take another careful look. It could simply be an old 1-cent coin, or it could be the hidden treasure that collectors have been searching for. If you enjoy discovering rare American coins and learning the fascinating stories behind them, stay tuned, because the next coin might be even more surprising than this legendary 1,935 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Coin number 2. Imagine opening an old family collection that has been passed down from your grandparents' generation. Inside a small box surrounded by forgotten memories, you discover a tiny copper coin that has been sitting there for decades. At first, it looks like just an old penny, something many people would ignore or even spend without thinking twice. But what if that little coin carries nearly a century of American history? What if it is a piece that collectors around the world are searching for? Today, we are taking a closer look at the fascinating 1,934 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark. This classic American coin may appear simple, but its history, design, and condition make it one of the most interesting wheat pennies for collectors. So before you throw away an old penny or leave it forgotten in a drawer, stay with me, because you might discover why coins like this continue to capture the attention of collectors. Let's explore what makes the 1,934 wheat penny special. The first thing collectors notice is the beautiful design on the front of the coin. The obverse features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right. This iconic design was created by sculptor and engraver Victor David Brenner and was first introduced in 1909 the Lincoln cent became the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical person, making it a major moment in American coin history. Around Lincoln's portrait, you can see the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, along with the year of production, 1934. A 1,934 wheat penny without a mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During this period, Philadelphia coins traditionally did not carry a mint mark, unlike coins produced at other facilities such as Denver or San Francisco. Now let's look at the reverse side. The back of the coin displays two wheat stalks on each side, surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. At the top appears the famous phrase, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This design represents America's agricultural roots and is the reason collectors gave these coins the popular nickname Wheat Penny. The wheat design was used from 1909 until 1958, making it one of the longest-running and most recognizable designs in U.S. coin history. Now let's talk about the composition and specifications of this historic coin. The 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny was made from a bronze alloy consisting of approximately 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. The official weight of the coin is approximately 3.11 grams. Its diameter measures about 19.05 millimeters. The thickness is approximately 1.52 millimeters. Although it is a small coin, its historical importance is enormous. This tiny piece of copper survived through decades of American changes, economic challenges, and generations of collectors. To understand its story, imagine America in 1934. The country was experiencing the effects of the Great Depression. People carefully saved their money, and even a single cent had purchasing power. These pennies traveled through countless hands, used in stores, carried in pockets, placed in cash registers, and saved by families. Some eventually disappeared, while others were carefully stored away and passed from one generation to another. That is what makes old coins so fascinating. They are not just pieces of metal, they are pieces of history. Now let's discuss what makes this 1934 wheat penny interesting for collectors. One of the biggest factors is condition. A coin that survived nearly 100 years in very fine condition is much harder to find than a heavily worn example. Every scratch, mark, and detail can affect how collectors view a coin. Collectors carefully examine Lincoln's hair details, the lettering, the wheat stalks, and the overall sharpness of the design. Original surfaces are also very important. Coins that have not been cleaned or damaged are usually more desirable because they preserve the natural appearance created over decades. Another important factor is rarity. Many people believe every old coin is automatically rare, but collectors look deeper. They study production numbers, survival rates, condition, and special characteristics. A 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark was produced in large numbers. But finding exceptional examples with strong details and beautiful preservation is much more challenging. Sometimes coins become valuable because of unique errors or unusual characteristics created during the minting process. Professional collectors always check for these possibilities. This is why every old coin deserves a careful inspection before being ignored. Now let's talk about collector demand. Lincoln Wheat Pennies remain one of the most popular collectible coins in America. Many beginners start their collections with wheat pennies because they are affordable, historic, and full of interesting varieties. Experienced collectors also search for high-quality examples to complete their collections. The excitement of finding a forgotten coin in an old collection inherited box or family treasure chest keeps thousands of people searching every year. Now comes the question everyone wants to know. What could a rare 1934 wheat penny be worth? The value depends on many factors, including condition, originality, grading, and whether the coin has any rare errors or special characteristics. Some exceptional examples reported by collectors and market sources can reach very high values. An extremely rare, professionally authenticated specimen may be estimated around $285,300. But values at this level are generally associated with extraordinary examples and should not be expected for every 1934 wheat penny. For anyone who believes they have a valuable coin, professional evaluation is the best way to determine its true worth. If you discover a 1934 wheat penny, here are some important collector tips. First, never clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the original surface and reduce collector interest. Second, hold the coin carefully by the edges to avoid adding fingerprints or marks. Third, store it in a proper protective holder. Fourth, use good lighting and magnification to examine the details. Look closely at the date, lettering, wheat stalks, and any unusual features. Finally, if the coin appears special, consider having it examined by a professional grading service. Because sometimes the biggest discoveries come from places people least expect. A forgotten penny in an old family collection may look ordinary, but behind that small piece of copper could be a story that began almost a century ago. The 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny is more than just money. It is a connection to America's past, a piece of history that traveled through generations, and a reminder that treasures can sometimes hide in plain sight. So before you ignore that old penny sitting in a drawer, take a closer look, because the next hidden treasure might already be in your hands. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more amazing stories of rare American coins. It could simply be an old 1-cent coin, or it could be the hidden treasure that collectors have been searching for. If you enjoy discovering rare American coins and learning the fascinating stories behind them, stay tuned, because the next coin might be even more surprising than this legendary 1935 Lincoln Wheat Penny.